parents were getting older and they were having health issues, they finally agreed to come down and live with us. And so we kept looking for two-on-ones, two little homes in the urban core. But since my parents wanted a traditional house, we kept going further and further from the San Diego core and coming out to the outskirts. And my mother and father fell in love with this house. Of course, there was no secondary house. The lot is large enough that we could have built another house possibly in the back. But rather than do something like that, it just made more sense to just reuse the garage space for a home because it was a large garage space. And to be honest, the space inside the garage was larger than anything we had ever lived in before.
So when you came, it was a 4-car garage.
Yes, it was a 4-car garage, and it was just a normal garage with absolutely no insulation and nothing about it that you would consider to be home-like. But we really liked modern spaces, and so we liked our drawings that were offered by our architects and went with their vision of putting a house inside a house.
Yeah, it's not like a regular garage. It's like a garage with a lot of flexibility. Yeah, this is the garage. The style is like an industrial style, like everything is visible. We keep the garage door, have like a really nice inside. And yeah, everything is open, is flexible. Like there is like a lot of movement that we can see. So they have a box in the middle. So that box is like a Swiss Army knife where everything can open or can close. So here is like a table that you can fold and you can have the chair there. So you can eat here, you can work here. So the best part of that is, like, of course, you don't use the space until you need the space. And then you fold up the table and yeah, you can use the space for something else. In that case also we have the island. This is just more classic. We have an island that you can move. That dimension is the dimension of the hallway, so you can move the island and you can display the island wherever you want. So we are in San Diego. The weather is like all year spring, so you can have parties here outside, and yeah, it's a really nice relation interior-exterior.
Putting a house inside a house allowed us to put a lot of hidden storage on all 4 spaces of the wall of the house inside the garage space. And it still has kind of a house-like look on the inside, which is cute also. It makes people feel homey. And we selected wood because we like the idea of the house looking or feeling more organic than could have been if we just used some kind of modern material that would be less warm.
They didn't want to see the microwave, so there is like another element that you can move. Is connected to the electrical, and then you have the microwave here, so you can use the microwave, you can close it, and then you put it there. Or you have a party and you can use that to have your beer. You can disconnect from the electricity and you can have that element wherever you want to have it.
I think the most conventional piece of this is probably this living room.
Yeah, I can imagine they wanted to feel like at home, more like a classic traditional home, where you sit down in a sofa, you switch on the TV, and you see the TV, right? It's like more like a traditional one. Yeah. This is something that we have been thinking a lot. It's like we have seen like a lot of houses that they are typical 1 living room, 1 kitchen, 1 room, 2 room, or 3 room. That was thought in the 50s for the typical family where they have like a 1 father, 1 mother, 1 kid, 2 kids, or 3 kids. But we are not living in that way anymore. There is like a different kind of families right now, and depending of the moment of the life, you are living in different ways. So our life change every 5 years, every 10 years, because you get married, because you divorce, because you have a kid, you have 2, the kid go to college, your grandpa or your grandma go to live with you, but our house never change. And we always believe that architecture needs to change with your life. This is the boxes that they can be like a storage, but also you can use that as a place to sit down if you want to sit down. So it's like all of them, you can use all of them. So you can move all of them. So you can use it as a storage, or you can use as a stool if you have a big party with friends here. Again, it's like giving them opportunities to leave the space in the way that they want to leave the space.
If we could, everything would fold and hide and be out of the way. I would love it if all the furniture were eventually on wheels and it could all be reconfigured in any way we want.
You can see how smooth go. So this is like Yeah, everything go like really smooth because there is a spring, so I'm not doing anything, just a spring, really strong spring.
The only thing that was sort of new to us was that because of the pandemic, we had to figure out a place to put the desk space because we had to start working from home. And so that was a change, but even that ended up working out for us because all the shelving in the walls allowed me to hide all the clutter of what would be an office space. So even though there's a lot of wires, it worked out, but I didn't think my home would become an office. So that is a surprise. That's not something I would have expected and wanted to do. But we made it work as well.
So in the middle of the box we have the bathroom, we have the kitchen, and we have the different tools that we were talking about. And there is a contrast with materials. So here everything is like warm, here everything is like cold. So this is the bathroom. Here we have 2 doors, so you can have access from like 2 sides of the house. We don't have window here because we are in the middle of the house. So what we have is 3 skylight. So you can see here, you can see the sky, and you can have a really nice shower, seeing the sky and seeing the cloud.
The floors.
The floor is the same floor that we have in the garage. It's like a micro cement, and it's totally contrast with the tile that we have here, that is a glass tile that reflect the light that we have here. It's a totally different light in the morning and in the afternoon.
This bathroom is huge.
Yeah, the first thing is the bathroom is huge, but it's not only because of the dimension of the bathroom, also because of the light. We don't have any artificial light. Everything is like just natural light. And this is right now like in the afternoon, like 6, 7, it's like 6 p.m. and this is a really amazing light here. Yeah. Also the tile reflect the light that we have. It's in the skylight, so there is even more light.
So what's the idea of putting the lights just inside of the skylight, so when it's nighttime the effect is similar?
Yeah, the idea is like instead of having the light here on the ceiling, having the light inside of the skylight. When you are here during the night, you don't realize that it's artificial light. Mm-hmm. So it's again, in that case, it's like you don't see the light, you just see that the reflection of the light on the wall. It's like a really cost-effective element. It's just a strip LED light that you can buy any hardware shop, like $10 light that you just glue there. So it's like a really simple gap just to hide the light. So we have here another light that is integrated with the playwood. Again, it's like really simple. You are doing like a grid here and you have the LED.
So I really love the color turquoise, and even though it's an extravagant expense to fill all the walls with glass tile, I wanted to feel like I was inside an aquarium. So just the idea of sort of being enclosed in a space that feels watery. And so I have that feeling now when I'm in here because the skylights allow you to sort of see up to the sky, but you feel kind of warmly protected by this soft color on the outside. And then even though I'm worried about getting older and being able to get around, I really want a bathtub. And so this one space in the corner here is reserved for that because I just want to sort of just dip into it. And it's designed so that the floors look a little bigger than they are. The color of the tile is similar to the cement itself. So there's a continuity. The glass itself allows you to see through. The shower is itself slightly underneath the skylight. And all of those things make you feel like you're in a very large but enclosed space where you're in a bathroom. So it's great. And what I want to do is eventually be in the bathtub, taking a bath in this space and feeling again just really cozy. This is one of my favorite spaces. It's weird to say the bathroom is one of your favorite spaces, but it is. So the way the space functions, we wanted to be able to separate out rooms. So if we had guests staying here, we could easily make that space be partitioned off. And
here we have that door that are integrated. It's just a simple playwood with a wheel and rail, and you can close it and open. And we have that in both sides of the box. So you can have like a unique space that is completely open, or you can close here, you can close in the other side, and you have like a regular room that, you can have your privacy, So you close here. And because you have access from both sides to the bathroom, you can use like both hallways. We have here like another strip LED light that you don't realize that it's there until you switch on the light.
It is a nice effect also to see the roof here.
Yeah.
Very open, right?
Yeah, it's like here you have 2 options. You can close, but you are going to have a really volumetric space. So a really classic idea is just you paint everything on white and you enjoy the height that you have here. And also because we have a skylight that you can open, it's operable skylight, so they have like a lot of cross ventilation, and they don't have AC and they don't have a heater. Even the insulation is like a really high insulation in the roof, and with the cross ventilation that we have here is enough in summer just to be cool here. Also because there is a lot of green garden, and because of that, so they don't have any AC here in the space.
We're lucky that the weather in our area in the San Diego County is just gorgeous. And so we can often just leave the door open like this and feeling like we're still partly outdoors.
It's nice because you can take advantage of what was already here, the garage door, and
Yes.
have like indoor, outdoor.
Oh yeah, and one of the things that mattered to us was that we did not need to depend on air conditioning to survive, because that's the reality of the Southwest that is often very expensive and also leads to the failure of the electrical grid. So we have designed a house here with the help of our architects that allows the sea breezes to naturally come through the house. So by opening up these double doors in the back, double doors in the front, the garage doors, there's really great breezes that come through and allow us to cool the house quickly. We also went out and invested in good insulation so that the house itself is resilient to be able to withstand some of the heat that can happen on super hot days. And because we have a cement floor and it's not being touched on by the sun most of the time, as long as we keep the shades down, we're also keeping the heat from radiating it, and the floor itself keeps things cool in the house.
Again, I love that the floor just continues. So you still again.
Yeah, they wanted to keep everything as they have. In that case, that was micro cement, and they wanted to keep the micro cement in the space.
I like this sort of barn feeling.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
At the beginning, it's like we have here, instead of that, we have here like a sliding walls, but they didn't like it and they decided not to keep it. So this is a shoe rack or bow tie rack. So here you can have your socks, have your tie. This is just play good with a really simple wheel that allows you to keep everything organized. So everything is a custom, a small cabinet, closet there, all of them, like there is like a lot of space here. They have like a lot of space above. So yeah, there is like a lot of storage. Yeah, so here you can open and there is all the utilities, and we can see how we have like a double insulation there. So as we say, like the box inside of the box is a cool space in summer and it's a warm space in winter. Yeah, and all the utilities is there, so in case that there is like a pipe broke or something like that, it's really simple to come in and fix it. Yeah.
And you had a wall here before, but you decided that didn't work.
You know, we had thought to partition this space out, and it still could do that. So everything is set up so we could actually continue to separate this space and create 2 bedrooms back here if you wanted to. But right now there's only 2 of us. So we don't need a second bedroom, and we just decided to keep a big open space because we like the idea of open, clean spaces. And there already is a Murphy bed. So if we had a guest, it doesn't really affect us because they could stay over there. But because my parents have their own house, there's 2 other bedrooms right across the patio from us. And if there was overflow needed, we have it here. And we're also still thinking about what we'll do in the future, because we ended up installing these 3 sheds. And there's no longer a garage.
So that's your garage now.
Yeah, that's the only garage we need. But even back here, we have a vision of what the future could be like. Because let's say we had to have other relatives live with us, or if we wanted to somehow be a place for older people, like our older friends, well, we have a shed that easily converts into an extra bedroom, and yet another shed that converts into a bedroom. And if we finish off the walls in there, insulate, we're going to have electricity passing through here, then those become 2 more bedrooms. And so we can have a communal kitchen right here in the main space. Right now, one of the sheds is functioning as my partner's studio. He does ceramics. And the other shed is serving as an informal nursery so that we can grow some of the plants and trees that we're still experimenting with what grows well here because of the climate. And we're creating long-term plans. And hopefully some of these trees will be extremely mature eventually, and there'll be even more shade back here.
Yeah.
And everything is water with tanks, so They have all tank here, so they collect the water from the roof, but also they have a recycling system, so they can recycle the water. So they have a water tank here, and they have water tank in the house. So all the house that they are using in the house and in the garage, they recycle and they use for the garden.
Even back here, we want to continue to pull in more of the water. Right now, the water that is being collected is being pulled from the north side of the building. So all the rainwater goes to those rain tanks, but on the south side, it's being lost to the driveway. And we want to put an underground cistern, and then all of the water would continually drip irrigate all of the garden space. We're still trying to make the space be less cement and more of a park and a garden space.
It's kind of like two houses, but this was the garage. It was a detached
Yeah,
garage.
that was a detached garage. This is the main house, and that the space is in between the two houses. So this is where is the gathering in between the family, and where the owner wanted to create is a different landscape here, more tropical.
So this could also be a front door, besides this.
Yeah, let's say that you have like two front doors. This is more like the relation with the family.
I love this planner.
Yeah, this is like a really simple box.
And I also like that it's just bungee cords. You
Yeah,
know?
nothing fancy, nothing like expensive. It's just bungee cords. Yeah, you can have the plant above, so you have the opportunity to use that space as you want. More flexibility. So you have things on the ceiling, you have things on the box. You can do whatever you want in the space that is in between.
The house, it still can function as a garage. So if we ever had to leave, the house is still viable to having this room for guests in the back, and you can still function with having a car rolling into the garage. We have an electric car now. And because we have an electric car, we don't have to worry about fumes or gas. So if we wanted to, we could pull the car into our space also and not worry about it. And I just think that's the future also.